Okay, so this task is 2.2 passing task. It is about basic questions on algorithmic complexity. Question one is about this introspective sort algorithm, which is a default sorting algorithm implemented in the array.sort method. This is question one. It asks these questions: what's special about this sorting algorithm? How this method uses an unstable sorting, blah, blah. It asks these questions and about its complexity. The answers are here. So for the first question, what is special about the introspective sort? It begins with quick sort for its average case speed. It monitors recursion depth and so on, which guarantees a big O n log n, and worst case scenario, big O for n to the power of 2. Then B, here's a question, and C is the overall average and worst case scenario for this sorting algorithm. Question 2, it relates back to task 1.1 on the vector class for the task assignment. And then it asks what's the time complexity of each of these operations here. And then basically I have to answer these and match to the actual original .NET framework list collection methods. And my answers are in here. What's the time complexity? One by one count will be complexity of 1, because this is a simple property access retrieving stored value, and then capacity 1, then 1, and so on. Now, in terms of comparing, it's very similar, equivalent to the .NET framework as per this that I've written. It closely matches the time complexity there. Question 3 is basically asking if this is right or wrong, if the assertion here are right or wrong. So my answers are also here from A to N. It wants to test my capacity of understanding complexities in a more applicable or example-driven way, not just in a theoretical way. And then question 4, it gives a snippet of code, and it asks me to give best and worst case scenario in the runtime analysis for each of these snippet of codes here. And the answers are here for 4.1, 4.2, 4.3. Let's get the example of I don't know, say 4.1, for instance. It says let flag be a random Boolean variable whose value is either true or false. Gives this for loop, conditioner, so on. Loop inside the loop. My answer will be worst case scenario. If flag is always true, the inner loop will execute I. That will be in a worst case scenario because then it requires both loops to run. The outer loop and the inner loop, and for the case best case scenario, the inner loop never gets to run, and then it gives that complexity here. And this gives that complexity because it's basically that loop, 2 loops. It runs that n to the power 2. And this is a very basic test of my algorithm complexity understanding.